And now more than 300 U.S. newspapers are running coordinated editorials to condemn President Donald Trump's constant attacks against the press. A Boston Globe organized this campaign. The New York Times and numerous other outlets also joined the push later. Now, in its editorial piece, the Boston Globe accused Trump of carrying out a, quote, sustained assault on the free press. Move comes in response to the president's comments against some media organizations. Now, in a tweet, Trump once again accused the press of publishing mostly fake news. He said the media is pushing a political agenda to hurt the people. And joining us now is Jason Unruhe, political commentator, joining us out of Ontario, Canada. Hello, Jason. Thanks for joining us back on the program. So, in fact, is this or is this not what Donald Trump says? Is this a political agenda to hurt the people the way the media reports on the Trump administration?
I think that it would be more accurate to say that there is a political agenda going on that from various sections of the ruling elite that are very concerned about the way Donald Trump is running the country. I don't think this is a deliberate plot to destroy the lives of the American people by criticizing Trump. I think that's something that exists largely in his own head. He thinks that if anyone disagrees with him, that this is somehow fake news, or this is somehow some kind of a plot against the American people, which I'm sure there's no doubt something that he says to whip up his base of support in order to get himself, more heavily allied to by his base. And it seems to be a tactic that works every single time. I think what we have is a case of a lot of the ruling elite within the United States are very unhappy with the way that Donald Trump is running the country, not just domestic but foreign policy as well. And this has led to a lot of problems. This has required a $12 billion bailout for the farmers of the U.S. to deal with the consequences of many of Trump's tariffs and the refusal to sign the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Many are upset with the idea of spending $40 billion to build a wall between the United States and Mexico. Such a wall is an unbelievable sinkhole of money. It would accomplish very little and it would be a massive waste of money. And a lot of those very moneyed interests in the country are frankly tired of it. They're tired of this kind of wasted money. They're tired of bad foreign policy that only seeks to make more enemies of the U.S. and turn more of its allies away. And I think that the media reflecting a negative attitude toward him is a natural reflection of that. And I think in the end, some kind of conspiracy is all in his head.
But we saw, Fox News and its allies, the corporate media out of the right wing slam the Obama administration for 8 years. I mean, that's just what the corporate media does. I mean, we know who CNN bats for. We know who Fox bats for. So in that narrative, of course, it's hurting. Of course, Fox is going to hurt some Democrats' feelings, and CNN is going to hurt. Vice versa. Why can't Trump just take it all in stride? There are always going to be critics. Let them critique. Who cares?
Well, frankly, I think it has a lot to do with his personality. I think he's very much a narcissist, someone who's completely unable to take criticism. I would love to see him try to take some of the attacks that Obama suffered from for all those years. Trump himself pushed a lot of fake news, constantly going on about Obama's birth certificate, claiming that Obama was a Muslim when there was no evidence of that whatsoever. I think this is really down to the personality of Trump. He simply cannot stand to be contradicted, and I think that this is very much reflective of his previous position as businessman, where he could rule with an iron fist and nobody could say anything against him because it was his business. He had the final say. And this did not prepare him for a job in politics, where the decisions he makes have a political dimension as well, where he has to try to unite the two parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. He has to make decisions for the country that do not necessarily go toward what he wants, but maybe is the politically acceptable thing to do. I think that Donald Trump is very narrow-minded in his views, is that anything he wants is automatically right. Anything he doesn't want is automatically wrong. Is just unable to understand how it is that a president, as a political leader, is supposed to lead a country. Leading a country is not the same thing as leading a business. He is a representative of the people, in theory, to carry out their interests and to facilitate the function of a country. And this is not the same of the CEO of a business. And I think in Donald Trump's personality and straight up a very narcissistic.
Thanks for joining us there out of Ontario, and for your input, Mr. Jason Unruhe, political commentator.